Are derelict and isolated spaces the result of too many man-made edges and boundaries? Man-made edges can consist of railways, motorways, roads, walls, gates, and so on. Roads lead to the city centre and its main purpose is to transport goods and services. With respect to Glasgow, these pathways have been accelerated by industrialisation through the British Empire. I want to bring to the forefront the impact this has had in creating Glasgow's isolated and derelict spaces. Now more than ever, we need equitable, not necessarily equal, distribution of finance, and we can create more ethical green cities that are equitable, have good housing with nearby amenities, streets that are pedestrianised, green spaces, and better infrastructure. Now, the most obvious boundary is, of course, the River Clyde, part straightened out by man, followed by the railway and motorway. Both the north and south of Glasgow have been impacted by this. However, in comparison, you can see that the south side has experienced the greatest impact, with it being in this complex web of boundaries and isolated spaces. To start off my investigation, I focused on the walkability from the north to the south through two different routes, with a particular focus on Pollokshields East. Route 1 in red is from the west of Glasgow, such as Exhibition Centre, all the way to the site. Route 2 in green is from the central station all the way down to Eglinton Street, Pollokshields Road and Queen's Park. Nearby Albert Drive in blue is also an important route. Pollokshields East has the highest rate of overcrowding in houses and 55% of the population live within 500 metres of vacant land. This is similar with Ibrox, Kingston, Govanhill and Gorbals. In comparison, Pollokshields West, Shawlands and Strathbungo are more walkable and there's not an overabundance of man-made edges and not really any isolated spaces. For a quick cross-city analysis and cross-inner city analysis in Glasgow, if we take Sauchiehall Street for example, it's very well connected and very walkable from the city centre all the way to the West End. There is a massive disruption from the M8 here, however, it's still a walkable route and it serves as a great connection from the city centre to the West End. And down south in London, from Hyde Park, there is a great green connection all the way up until Embankment and Waterloo. And around this site, where you've got the Strand and you've got very many pathways and walkways that connect either side of the river together. So taking these strategies all together, I thought about implementing them into the site. So creating a green connection from Kelvingrove Park, for example, from the north, links and bridges where appropriate, reimagining Pollokshields East Station here, as it looks onto a lot of abundance of vacant land, meeting the housing crisis needs here, and drawing on my research from Stage 4 housing. And if we take one of these strategies further, such as reimagining Pollokshields East Station, I imagine it to look like this, where more space is given to pedestrians and cyclists, there's more better housing, more green, and just a general better and ethical Glasgow.